Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. A lot of folks on this morning, and good morning. Val Jones, thank you for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. John Ellsworth, good morning to you. And Carmelita Tiffany, good morning from sunny Ludington. And we're going to look way into the future because there's not a whole lot of day-to-day weather coming up. And it's warm, warm, warm. By the way, I looked. We're going to have the warmest February on record, probably, I'm guessing, most of Michigan. I looked at Grand Rapids records, and the warmest average temperature for February was 34.7, and we already averaged 35.7 as of today. So even though it's a cold day today, which is about normal, we will easily, by 1 degree average temperature, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a big deal when you look at average temperature. So here we go. And I thought that first we should start off with, it's going to be March tomorrow. Let's look at what March normally does temperature-wise. And the key story in March is, even though it can be a nasty month, and we know it, the sun power is really increasing. So we're going to look at March 1st, March 31st, the long-term average high temperature, and you're going to see, about a 15-degree warm-up on average. And of course, this year's nowhere near average, so we're going to be a lot warmer than that. But here is your average high temperature today. So normally, if there was such a thing as normal Michigan weather, Ann Arbor has averaged for the last 30 years 37 degrees for a high temperature today. Detroit 38, Grand Rapids, Flint, Saginaw 35, Lansing 36. You go northward, Cadillac averaging 32, Traverse City 32, and then you get into the eastern UP, and the UP and average highs are in the upper 20s. Now let's just go out 15 days, 2 weeks from now, that 37, 38 in Ann Arbor goes to 45. So in the next 2 weeks, the sun's power on average helps us gain about 7-8 degrees of warmth. Hey, good morning, Joe Leach. Good morning, Diane Bell. Thanks for watching. And Susan Pendergrass, thanks for watching. Nick Schweitzer, good morning to you, sir. And then let's go to the 31st. And, Ann Arbor was 37 to start the month, 52 to end it. Saginaw and Grand Rapids, 50. Traverse City, 45-ish. And of course, at the water in the Great Lakes, it can always be 10, 15, 20 degrees colder, than it is 5 miles inland. All right, weather, not much. The snow has come to an end for the most part. Let me get this so that you can see it. Okay, there we go. Is it Friday yet? So snow has come to an end for the most part, except up in the UP. Here's a look at the radar forecast. Bear with me again here for a minute. Try and do everything with one hand today, and I forgot. God gave me 2 hands. All right, so radar forecast through the day, nothing. Into tomorrow, nothing, maybe a sprinkle. And note one thing here. Northwesterly flow and cold today, but then you'll notice showers to our south start to move in from the southwest. So already tomorrow already later today we get into a southwest wind and start a warming trend. So this is what we're going to talk about: warm, warm, warm. So here we are going to look at the upper level, the mid-level flow. And again, you get this feel for if it's a warmer atmosphere or a colder atmosphere. And by the time we get to tomorrow, we're already back into a big ridge. We go from something that looks like this today, cold, to already tomorrow, much warmer. into Saturday, into Sunday. The big story is that out west, they're going to get clobbered with cold weather, and it keeps us on the warm side. Now we're into Monday and Tuesday, which I expect record high temperatures on Monday, maybe Tuesday. And note the strength of the warmth. Normally in March, one of those systems out west would come through and turn us colder. It gets shunted up into Canada. Now we're to the end of next week, March 7th. We're still warmer than normal. March 8th, we end it at March 10th. And we're still warmer than normal, and a storm system trying to come into the middle part of the country. And yes, we're going to have a cooler period, of course, and of course we need it. The fruit growers are going to have a real problem with this. I'm going to say the last 2 weeks of March may cool down to normal, may cool down to some days a little bit below normal. But remember, by then we have a normal high in the low 50s. So we're going to have a lot of 40s, 50s, 60s, and a couple of 70-degree days in March. This is the temperature anomaly, the surface temperature anomaly the next 10 days. And I just want to show you, here's Sunday, we are warm. And here is Monday, 30 degrees warmer than normal. So take the average high of about 40, add 30. Simple math. You know what is going on there. Hey, Connie Wellman in Flushing. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. If you could hit the share button, I'd appreciate it. This is meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Now we're into next week, next Thursday, next Friday. Look, we continue 10, 15, 20 degrees warmer than normal. We're at March 10th, 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the average high in the low 40s. So we're still in the upper 50s and 60s. Okay, so we can keep looking out. Some of these models go out quite a ways for us. What we're going to look at now is the model that we look at a lot, the European model, out to 46 days. So you'll see a 5-day surface temperature anomaly just to see if it forecasts some sort of trend toward much colder or something like that. And the story is it eases the temperatures back to maybe slightly cooler than normal by late March. But remember, the atmosphere has always this winter killed that kind of thing off. So I think what it says is we ease back somewhat for a while in March, and that just makes perfect sense. Oops. All right, so here we are. All right, so surface temperature anomaly, 5-day average, out 46 days. We're at March 15th. We're still slightly warmer than normal. We're at March 22nd, and it's the first indication that we may go a couple of degrees colder than normal. But remember, by that time, we are normally well into the 40s to low 50s. And then we go to March 28th. Right there would be about 6 degrees colder than normal. So easing back. Now we go to April 2nd and 3rd and easing back to just slightly cooler than normal. And it goes out to April 11th. And it keeps us about normal, 1 degree colder than normal. And on a model that far out, I wouldn't take it as being exact. But what I would get out of it, if I were you, is that we're going to have, some record warmth first 2 weeks of March, probably ease back to 40s and 50s a lot of days, second half of March. And do remember, wind direction of the day makes all the difference in March, because the Great Lakes, the largest freshwater thing in the world, the water's still going to be 38 to 45 degrees. So any northeast wind, the east side of the state, the thumb, Saginaw Bay City, all of a sudden you turn frigid at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, even as it's 50 inland at Elma or something like that. West wind, Grand Rapids, you could turn frigid. Holland, frigid. Saugatuck, Muskegon. Traverse City, notorious for a warm day, and then in comes the north wind off of Grand Traverse Bay, and it goes from 50 degrees to 35, and you're freezing. we will still have that because the Great Lakes are still there, and even though they're warmer than normal without ice, they are still cold, and they're still a source for a cold lake wind. But in general, we are looking very warm, and get ready for another record warm day on Monday, probably in the low 70s in most places. Sunday, a rake the yard type day with temperatures in the 60s, and even Saturday, the same deal. So there you have it. Did you get this kind of weather update anywhere else in the world? No, I don't think so. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some stuff out of it, and you better start rummaging through the seeds because we're going to be planting a garden sooner rather than later this year. I am very much convinced of it. Take care. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Bye.